Welcome to Rollin' Ratchet. I'm your host that smokes the most. They call me New York Nizzy, and today we're talking about the death of Nolan Wells. May he rest in peace. And my question is, will we ever know the truth? Now, before we get into this, I got to give you my own personal experience of dealing with white people when I was a child. And you might be shocked to hear that my overall experience was pretty positive. I used to spend the summers with my grandmother down south. And one summer I'm down there and I went to a summer camp and I jumped into a pond of water thinking it wasn't over my head, and it damn sure was. And I'm sitting there drowning, about to die. And it was a white boy that jumped in and saved me. I also went to Catholic school for 2 years and I was the only black kid in my class. And I never had any issues. Them white people did nothing but show me love. Now, it wasn't until a few years after that when I was messing with a white girl when I was down south one summer, and she came by my grandmother's house. And I don't even, when I'm telling this story, I don't even remember how she found out where I lived because I never told her. However, she came past my house and I wasn't home. But when I did get home, my grandmother said, a white girl came by here for you. And I'm like, all right. And she said, what she want? And I'm like, we friends, we kicking it. And she said, don't mess with no white women. Now, she didn't tell me that because she was being racist. She was telling me that because of her experience and what she's seen living down south. And then she told me a story about one of my uncles who was messing with a white woman and he just disappeared and nobody never seen him again. And I'm like maybe 14, 15 when she told me this story. So I'm like, I kind of shrugged it off. But it wasn't until like a year after that, my cousin Choo Choo, who was messing with a white woman for a while, and when he tried to end the relationship and leave her, she lied on him and said he tried to grape her daughter. And my cousin Choo Choo went to prison. That was like my aha light bulb moment that I seen that even though all the white people I was messing with was cool, there are some evil ones out here. Now, when we talk about this story with Nolan Wells, to me, it's devastating on three different levels, right? On the first level, you got an 18-year-old kid who just lost his life. On the second level, it's devastating because most black people don't trust white people to begin with. And this situation happening furthers that distrust. The third level that's devastating is I feel like we're used to seeing white people get away with crimes against black people. And right now, that's where it's looking like where it's headed. His friends, no rest in peace post, nothing. They all deleted their social media. They're not cooperating with Nolan's mother. They just all went ghost. And right now, it's looking like a cover-up is in place.
Let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that Nolan Wells is surrounded by so many of so-called friends and so many pictures, and after being found deceased, nobody has posted rest in peace? Instead, they all went private. Even the judge, stepmother of Warren Hudson, deactivated her social media? That's not friendly-like behavior. These folks preparing for something big. Woo, y'all some fraudulent friends. Y'all quick to want to dance with them until it's time to dance with them. Can you use a my deepest condolences post in the court of law? Judge Ashley Cole disappeared off social media like Nolan's friends' accountability.
Wyatt Pyron was one of the last so-called friends of Nolan to go private on his profile. I guess he got the news late. It's crazy how everyone else came back safe, and even Nolan Wells' cell phone made it back safely.
Nolan Wells is the one that passed away, but y'all are real ghosts. I pray that young man receives swift justice and that they don't get away with it was an accidental death excuse like they always do. I'm out.
A little reminder for people of color that go to college. Be wary of the white people that go to your college. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a little college party, right? I was going with someone who I thought was my friend at the time. And he had some, privileged white boys that he knew at the party. The motherfuckers got too drunk. And I didn't drink for shit. I didn't drink at all. I did not like the vibe. I did not like them. So I left. And while I was leaving, they told me not to leave, right? And they got too close. And I did like a little, get the fuck off me, right? And I guess these motherfuckers had chicks around, so they felt threatened. And a few minutes later, I get 4 of these white motherfuckers banging on my window, calling me the hard R, right? And I'm ready to scrap, right? These motherfuckers are soft as hell. But then I regained consciousness, right? And thought, if I go crazy and beat the brakes out of these motherfuckers and the cops get called, who are they going to believe? Are they going to believe me? Or are they going to believe the 4 privileged white boys, right? So I turned on my car and just left. And some days later, one of my supposed homeboys invites them to a get-together we had at another friend's house, right? And they wanted to apologize. And they wanted everyone to go to the beach with some girls, bruh. That was their selling point, by the way. There's gonna be some girls, bruh. There's gonna be some chicks, bruh. But I obviously said no. And I left the get-together immediately. But the point being, these motherfuckers don't look at you as human. Us and them were not raised the same way. They won't hesitate to rob, drug, or assault you. And it's funny to them because they don't see us as actual human beings. So be careful who you surround yourself with.
You know, now that I'm older and I think about some of the white parties I've been to, white people party a little different. And that's not to sound racist, but it is what it is. Like when white guys start getting drunk, they don't have no boundaries. Like they can get a little wild. They'll start grabbing each other. You know, it's not like when black people get drunk. When black people get drunk, you know, we more cool, we more laid back. White people can get a little weird once they start getting drunk. Now, I don't know if that's just alcohol or if they sniffing that powder. Now, this next person we about to hear from says he knows the friend group that Nolan Wells was with that day. And listen to what he said about them.
I know that friend group that he was with is known for, I don't know if I can say this substance, but they're known for doing a certain substance. And, you know, some of us who have spoke to Nolan prior to the island date, we know that they were known for doing that substance. Another thing that we believe is, what if they peer pressured him into doing something? And again, with the mixture of alcohol and...
This is allegedly, Leah. This is allegedly. And Jesus just giving us his synopsis of what he feels. So allegedly, Jesus, you got to remember when you're getting on these panels, you got to say allegedly because somebody will try to wrap you up.
Allegedly, coming from his friend group that knows him very well. I'm talking about teammates that played with him, went to school with him, and folks that see him every weekend. Allegedly, we believe that maybe something just didn't go the way they wanted it to. Maybe they were trying to have a little bit too much fun, and it was just a mistake that they covered up. But I know for a fact that friend group that they were with is known for a certain substance. So it does not surprise me whatsoever. And I'm almost certainly confident, allegedly, that there was that substance on that boat. I know we won't know till the body gets tested and all that, but, you know, it's what makes sense to me. I don't believe he tried to swim back to the island or anything like that. There's just a lot of things that doesn't make sense. Why did they leave him in the first place? Why didn't they make sure he had a ride home? If that was me and my friend group that I typically hang out with, I mean, Nolan, yes, was in that, but if it was me and my 4 close friends, I'm not leaving that island until I leave with my friend.
You heard that man said that Nolan's friends had a substance on their boat. They were known for dealing with a certain substance. Allegedly. Now, if we had to take an educated guess what substance that was, it was probably that nose candy, right? Now, I don't know if y'all seen a picture of Horn Island, but this is Horn Island. It's a damn island. You can only get there by boat, and it's 10 miles away from land. I don't care how high them white boys got. They was not supposed to leave their homie, if that was their homie. And that brings me to something else, man, I thought about it. Like, when it comes, another difference between black and white people, I feel I could be wrong. But if a group of black people go out and we got a white friend with us, we gonna make sure that one white friend is good. We gonna make sure they get back home, right? We gonna be like, yo, you good? We got you. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. I don't know if white people feel that same responsibility. Like, when a group of white people go out, if they got a black friend with them, I don't know if they feel that. Let me tell y'all a crazy story. This is a true story back in the day, right? When the movie Higher Learning came out. I don't know if y'all remember that movie. It was an Ice Cube movie. Me and a group of my friends went to go see this on 42nd Street here in New York City. Now, it's all black, right? It's like 8 of us, but we had one white friend with us, my homie Matt. Now, y'all probably know 42nd Street now. It's all clean. It's family oriented. That's because it's owned by Disney. But back in the day, 42nd Street was wild. I'm talking about prostitution, drugs, everything. The movie theaters was wild too. You could smoke weed in the movie theaters. This is back like in the late 90s. So we watching a movie, right? You know the movie's about racism and skinheads. So in the middle of the movie, this black dude stands up and said, yo, anybody white in here is getting it. Me and all my friends, we look at each other like, damn, Matt is white. Like, we probably gonna have to fight, like, because we already felt like we're not gonna let nothing happen to our homie. He came with us, he gonna leave with us. So at the end of the movie, I look, Matt gone. By the grace of God, my homegirl Jennifer snuck him into the train station. They was waiting for us. And I'm thankful, because imagine having to fight, being black, having to fight a bunch of black people who just seen a racist skinhead movie for your white homie. That would have been crazy, but thank God it never happened. Now, of course, black people are outraged what happened to Nolan Wells, but we even have a couple white people speaking up about it too.
I want to talk to y'all about Nolan Wells, but before I do that, I want to note that Nolan's mom does follow me, and in the event that she or other family members come across this video, please keep the comments respectful and in line with uplifting a family who just tragically lost their son. If there's any kind of nasty comments, racist comments, conspiracy theory type comments, My comment section is not the place for that. You will be blocked. This is someone's real life. Okay, this is someone's son. This is not a fodder for content. This should not have been Nolan Wells last summer. Nolan Wells was someone's baby. He was 18 years old, set to turn 19 next month, set to go back to playing football at his local community college. He was very well liked. He got along with everybody. He was radiant. He was a leader. And he went out with 3 friends. They went out to an island. His 3 friends returned to the mainland without him. And all 3 of those friends are white. And I know that when I say that, there are white people watching this who are immediately going to say, well, we don't know what happened. And y'all, this is the difference. If the situations were reversed, if the circumstances were reversed, and it was 3 black boys who took a white boy out and the 3 black boys came back and the white boy did not, it wouldn't matter that they didn't know what happened. Those 3 black boys would have been in handcuffs. Those 3 black boys would still be in questioning to this day. I can see the Fox News headline now, right? They would have used it as proof. See, we told you black people were dangerous. We told you black people were bad. I've seen no such headline on Fox News about this. Have you? Even though, we know that white men are overwhelmingly responsible for situations of mass violence across the US, and I'm not saying every white guy, right? I'm not saying that. Here's the thing. Acknowledging that black people are in danger in this country, often at the hands of white people, often at the hands of white police officers, acknowledging that reality, because it is a reality, right? It's not a theory. It is evidenced by so much data and history and lived experience. Acknowledging that reality as a white person does not make you inherently dangerous, but refusing to acknowledge it does. We have to be able to recognize the double standard before we can do something about that. And genuinely, because I know there's people with all kinds of belief systems who follow me, I want you to sit with that. What would you think if you saw 3 black boys had taken a white boy out and the white boy didn't return? What would you honestly think? Throughout history, our criminal justice system has never waited to wait and find out what happens when it comes to incarcerating black people or punishing black people for crimes they didn't commit, or even killing black people for crimes that they did not commit. That is just the truth. And that is all I'm trying to say here. I am not trying to insert my personal commentary, because again, his mom does follow me, and I really do just want to be respectful and do what I can to support the family. And on that note, GoFundMe for his family is in my bio. It is the verified GoFundMe. I checked it across all of his mom's pages. And y'all, we have to do better to protect black children. We have to do better to protect black people. And that starts with listening to them and believing them, which we do a god-awful job at. We do a god-awful job. Just continue to pray for his family and that they get the answers that they deserve.
Nolan fucking Wells. What in the actual fuck is going on down in Mississippi? So listen, if you got a little time, let me walk you through this shit, because this shit's fucking wild. I try to stay out of it till you get all the details, but since they're circling the fucking wagons and refusing to help authorities, I'm gonna tell you what I think's going on. This picture right here, you will see Nolan and 4 of his friends that went on a boat party on July 4th. Only 4 of them returned without Nolan. His cell phone back to his mother. What the fuck? Claiming they haven't seen him since 3 p.m. These people right here remember seeing them partying and throwing beer cans and causing a ruckus and starting fights all the way up until 7:30 p.m. You want me to believe a friend of yours that you've known for years goes missing in Mississippi for hours and hours and hours, and you not only don't look for him, but then you go home without him, without calling the cops, and you just bring his phone back to his fucking mom. And then there's this video right here. Did you hear it? There is clearly an argument going on shore where they clearly say, fuck you, motherfucker, you're not getting on the boat. Even though they didn't have time to call the police or start an investigation right away, they had plenty of time to deactivate all their fucking social media. Not to mention, these little fuckers' parents are judges, doctors, and other high-ranking members of the community. Let me see if I can play out what exactly fucking happened here. Noah goes out on a boat with 4 of his friends. There is some sort of argument on shore. If a fight ensued, took him back out on the boat. I allegedly believe they did something to him. Then came back to the same spot they were in, partied all the way past 7:30 p.m. Have witnesses saying you were there, remember. Then brought his belongings back to his fucking mom. Look, I hope I'm fucking wrong here, but things aren't adding up. None of it makes fucking sense. None of it adds up to something benign happened. We all need to be saying his fucking name. Even if they didn't, fuck each and every one of them for abandoning their friend, not even searching for him so that they could drink and party the rest of July 4th away. Be careful who you choose for friends. I promise you, the only way a snake can fucking bite you is if it's right fucking next to you. Rest in peace, Nolan.
Whoa. That last dude was definitely intense and giving Randy Macho Man Savage. However, I agree with everything you said, sir, and we appreciate your energy. In closing this video, I want to say rest in peace to Nolan Wells and may his family get justice. Because if they don't, this sends the wrong message. It sends the message that white people with a few connections can get away with murder. But hey, as always, I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm your host that smokes the most. They call me New York Nizzy, and we rollin' ratchet.